pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moment of silence. Roll call.
Counselor Coast. Here. Counselor Matthews.
Here, but ready.
Counselor Huner.
Present.
Counselor Chamberlain.
Present.
Counselor Fry.
Here.
5 members are present. We have a quorum.
Moving forward, a motion to accept the resignation of Council Member Fred Allen effective July 7th, 2014.
So moved.
Second.
Motion moved by Counselor Chamberlain and second by Counselor Coast. Counselor Chamberlain.
Yes.
Counselor Coast.
Yes.
Counselor Matthews.
Yes.
Counselor Huner.
Yes.
Counselor Fry.
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Motion to adopt the procedures for appointing a person to fill the expired term of Council Member Allen. Any questions on this?
Would it be helpful to summarize the procedures just for the minutes, yeah. So pursuant to the discussion, previous discussion, advertisements for receipt of applications for the position of, the counselor position would be submitted by the clerk to the local newspaper tomorrow, Tuesday, July 8th. The advertisement would indicate, or the notice would indicate that applications would be due into the clerk's office by July 18th, Friday, July 18th. Interviews will be set up for the week of July 25th, I guess pursuant to council's scheduling, availability, as well as the applicants. And then the vote on the appointment would be conducted in a special meeting on Monday, August the 1st at 8 a.m. unless otherwise determined by council subsequent to this evening. August 1st? 4th? 4th, yes, that's correct. That sound consistent with what council had envisioned?
I'll make a motion to adopt that procedure.
Second.
Motion moved by Counselor Coast and second by Counselor Chamberlain. Is there any more discussion? Counselor Coast?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Matthews?
Yes.
Counselor Huner?
Yes.
Counselor Fry.
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Motion to approve the previous meeting's minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Motion moved by Counselor Coast and second by Counselor Fry. Counselor Coast?
Yes.
Counselor Fry?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Huner?
Yes.
Counselor Matthews?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
There's no names of individuals wishing to address council this time, so on the committee reports, personnel.
One of the things that we discussed, it doesn't require any action from council tonight, but Chief Sluter came in with an updated proposal for the conversion of Lifestar employees to Wauseon firefighters and EMTs. And that is going to move along as planned, and that transition by January 2015. Correct?
Should be well underway by then, yes.
Okay. And you also mentioned that Chief Sluter was in contact with Lifestar, talking to them about coordinating some other services that might benefit the city of Wauseon as far as response goes. So do you want to add anything to that, or just
No,
keep us
that's at this
updated as that
No update.
evolves? And you're also, Chief Sluter's also going to take, working with the other fire chiefs to take a proposal to the commissioners, and that date, do you have a date set for that?
We have a meeting with the commissioners tomorrow to set a date for that.
Okay. One of the other things that we had discussed was the point factor analysis for job descriptions, also the pay scale. Clemens Nelson did that, I think, around 25 years ago, and that's something that I think we need to have revisited. In addition to that, we needed to have maybe some trainings for our administration and look at different trainings on progressive discipline and performance evaluations and how to do those correctly and that type of thing. So Chief Torbett's going to look into seeing if there's somebody that we can bring into the city, maybe open it up to other entities as well, so that we can provide that training here. The thing that we are going to need to take some action on tonight, Chief Torbett reported that he received some information on Obamacare, basically that any employee that works over 30 hours a week can be offered health care under the Affordable Health Care Act, which our ordinance defines part-time as anything over 32 hours, so we need to get that so that the wording matches. So we need to say that part-time is under 30 hours per week, so we will need to and that's an average over a year's time. So we'll need to make sure that we get that changed so that the wording is accurate in our ordinance is accurate with the law. That's what we're presenting tonight.
Questions, comments? Okay. Motion to accept the personnel report and its recommendations.
So moved. I'll second that.
Motion made by Counselor Fry and second by Counselor Matthews. Is there any discussion? Counselor Fry?
Yes.
Counselor Matthews?
Yes.
Counselor Coast?
Yes.
Counselor Hühner?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Moving on to tree commission report.
Tree Commission met on June 12th in the morning. Jim Spees had questioned whether the tree inventory has been being kept updated, but I don't think it has. He was going to check into that and see if there was any way that they can start using some of their expertise in the GPS that they have. And Tom Savage reported that there was a couple of Norway maple trees that needed to be removed. I think since the storm came through, there's been a number of other ones that are taken care of also. He also reported all the small trees have been fertilized, and somebody suggested that we put some calcium on those smaller trees, and especially at Homecoming Park due to the ground being so hard. Pete Carr reported that a grant that he's seeking to get that would provide up to 15 trees per year for 4 years is looking good. And there's been 10 trees planted around the playground area out to Biddle Park. And it was recommended that Dave Murray or somebody from the Public Works would get some what they call watering gators or tree gators to keep those watered. And that's about it.
All right, thank you.
I have a question for her on the city tree inventory. Kitty Cooper used to do that years ago,
Yep.
the GPS system. Is that no longer that information is?
The information is in the computer somewhere, but I don't know.
Nobody knows how to.
I don't know that anybody's,
Questioned her as
well,
to possibly.
nobody that I know of has been trained in how she did it, how she logged it in and logged it out, and I think that's probably the problem.
She's maybe still in the vicinity that
Right.
she could possibly come back and
Put somebody in.
explain that to
Right.
somebody.
How to go doing that. Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Moving on to department head reports. David?
Well, I haven't heard any bad news or anything from the state saying that there was anything missing or left out of the application for downtown revitalization, so that's good news. We won't hear any approval notifications until probably early September, late August, so we can keep our fingers crossed there. I have been in contact with Kevin Stom with Sarah's Garden. I asked for him to give some information about where they're at with fundraising for the playground and everything like that. He gave me some figures, so we may want to relook at that issue and see where we'd like to go with the RLF funding for that project. He's also talked to the county commissioners, so I know the county commissioners are kind of in that decision phase of determining an amount to be allocated for that project. Also,
since we do have a high revolving loan fund balance, we might want to think about targeting some projects that could be eligible for funding under that funding source also. So if anybody has any ideas, let me know and I can check in the eligibility.
Would that playground project be eligible?
It's eligible in a sense that if it's made to be public accessible, it would be eligible. There's other factors that I need to check into upon, getting approval for, moving forward with that environmental review and just making sure that it meets all the HUD guidelines, low to moderate income needs to be met too, but there's a couple different ways to do that. So.
Would that accessibility require sidewalk in front of Sarah's Garden and heading?
Yeah, it would have to be 100% ADA compliant. So there would need to be sidewalk accessibility, not just accessible to the public to where it's open 24 hours a day or they can walk in, whatever, but yeah, it needs to be accessible ADA wise also. Other than that, just got back from vacation, so I'm trying to come back into it.
All right, thank you. Chief Sluter, I'd like to compliment you and your fire department for a wonderful fireworks show.
Thank you very much.
I think
Very good.
it's outstanding for everybody's in here, so they watched it. It was a great show.
Thank you.
Keep it up.
Yep.
Okay.
That's the main thing I got to report on, is that we got that over. We got that this weekend, and most of the firemen were here for all day Friday, all day Saturday, tearing up, cleaning up Saturday. And we wanted to thank the police department for helping us out with the event going on, and thank the Public Works Department for setting up and helping us tear down. All the departments and the Parks Department worked really good together and getting that accomplished.
Chief Sluter, can people still make donations towards the fireworks?
I sure hope they come up with about $7,000.
I know you scared a lot of people at the end of the show when you blew off that 10 gallons of gas.
That was
They didn't know what happened. They thought something exploded.
No, that was all part of the show.
ended on a cliffhanger.
Social media was blown up literally about that, I tell you. I mean, a lot of people don't realize, that there's a lot of cleanup of that, right?
Yeah, we were out there at about 3 o'clock Saturday cleaning up.
Days. Yeah.
Then the Public Works had to go back today and finish cleaning up. So,
A lot of people came to see that show.
Yes, they did.
Where do all those Chinese lanterns come from?
those are people bringing those in, which are completely illegal, by the way. But a couple of them landed in our fireworks, and that would make a real big mess if they ever landed in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
Good show. Chief?
Well, the 4th of July pretty much went off without a hitch for us. We had a theft from a vehicle during the baseball tournament, one traffic crash. It was related to people not paying attention, and a couple of fireworks issues inside the park itself, but other than that, it went off fairly well. We had to shut the park down at 20 till 10 because we just ran out of parking. And it was full. We opened it up a couple more times when we found extra parking, but I was expecting to shut it down at 10, but we just completely ran out of parking spots there, so that's a good thing.
That's a good problem.
Yes, it is.
Come early.
Yes. Final report on Safety City, we graduated 61 kids. We are still about $600 short of breaking even on the project, so if you don't donate to the fireworks, please donate to Safety City because we can use the money. Also to let you know, the end of June would have been the 28th. We had our entry-level written examination. We had 16 people take the test, 16 people pass that portion of the test. So all will be eligible to go through the second portion of the testing, and we'll do that the first, right after homecoming is done and out of the way. We also received approval from the FCC for the narrow banding of our radio license. We've only been fighting with them for 2.5 years and through 4 different appeals, but we have finally won out, and the Canadian government relinquished the license, so we are able to use our backup radios as well as our radios on the 700, 800 system with the Sheriff's Department, which was a really good thing at the 4th of July because we used both systems at that time. So everyone was in communication with each other. That's all I have.
One more thing I want to say, Chief, is this, your plan of the traffic removal afterwards, I thought was fabulous. When the time we got to our car and locked it, we were home in 15 minutes. And it just seemed to work real well.
There's only one area that we are going to change a little bit. Back where Councilman Huner lives, we're going to put someone on the stop signs to try and get people through quicker instead of stopping at every one of those 4-way stops. It would just move, because we had several times that we had stop and go traffic there, but for the most part, we were all done by 11:30. Everybody was out of the park.
I was wondering if anybody did any follow-up with our businesses out there with all of these people coming into Wauseon. It sure would be nice to know if it has helped the businesses, the fast foods, and whatever's out there with all of these people coming in. I think it would be nice to know if this is benefiting our city, you know, not just for parking and mayhem, but also what it's doing positive, you know, plus the show is amazing, but what it's doing with our businesses. So I don't know who would be responsible to make a few phone calls, but that would be
Aaron
nice to hear.
had 31 teams in a ball tournament there.
Yeah, that I knew.
When I took my truck out earlier and I was walking back, I was talking to a couple patrolmen. A lady come back. They were staying at one of the hotels because they were going back to swim for a while because she wanted to know what the program was later on at night. So with 31 teams times how many kids on a team, I mean, they all eat.
Yeah.
So it was a great.
Was there a big log jam on Shoop again?
Shoop Avenue was completely packed from Linfoot Street to North Shoop Avenue for about 20 minutes. There was just no place for them to go because there was literally 1,000 extra cars on Shoop Avenue that were parked in all the different parking lots to see the show. And unfortunately, we just don't have.
And how many accidents did you say you had?
We had one.
Yeah, I'll see. I think that's amazing.
Good job.
That's really good.
That's it.
Tom?
Just working on a couple of projects, might involve a little annexation in the future, and been sending out draft letters, not as many as we've had to do in the past, so we're thankful for that. So.
Tom is a council person, I guess, representing the Arrowhead Trail subdivision, the Blackhawk Drive, tall grass, the west end on the north edge. The fire hydrant, you can't see it anymore, so if you could address that, that'd be great.
Okay.
Dennis?
Our projects are moving smoothly, as the chiefs both alluded to. Public Works guys were extremely busy with preparing the park and cleaning up afterwards from the 4th of July festivities. We too have gone through the civil service process to ultimately hire 2 new individuals for Public Works. Brandon Johnston started out there on the 23rd of last month, and Greg Vincent is our second employee from the process who started on the 30th. So we welcome them.
Thank you.
That's it?
That's it.
I don't have much more than that. Working on a number of projects, as always. We've worked with Heather on getting that EMA contract reviewed, and that's before council tonight by way of a resolution to accept the amended contract, which is simply a really well-written revision of the original contract, which I think incorporates revisions to the code which weren't existing in the original draft or the original agreement. Some zoning or building and grounds issues with Tom and company. And I guess I also want to just take the opportunity to congratulate the Recreation Department and Aaron Tipley on the fine ball program that was run this past year. The rec season just wrapped up this past week, and I thought, you know, the summer ball program was well run, and Aaron's always out there making sure it's top-notch program that it is, and I've enjoyed coming, even when we're not playing, with one of my sons to the tournaments during the weekend. I know they had, you mentioned, Mayor, a number of teams out there, and really good quality baseball, and I think Aaron's doing a great job, and I enjoyed it as a coach this summer.
Yeah, chat with Aaron today. I mean, they had about 31, 32 teams, and he had more inquiries for coming, so I think when the North Diamonds get up, it'll be really furthermore, so good job, Aaron. Okay, moving on to first reading legislation. Resolution 2014-11, authorizing the mayor to enter into an amended agreement for a countywide emergency management agency pursuant to Ohio Revised Code, Section 5502.
First reading.
Second. Just very quiet. Just wait for somebody else.
Motion moved by Counselor Huner and second by Counselor Chamberlain. Is there any discussion? Counselor Huner?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Fry?
Yes.
Counselor Matthews?
Yes.
Counselor Coast?
Abstain.
4 yeas, 1 abstain. Resolution 2014-11 passes on first reading.
There's no second or third reading on the new business. Motion to schedule public hearing for Monday, July 21st, 2014 at 7 p.m. Final plat approval of the planned unit development extension of Oldfield Village.
So,
Second.
Motion moved by Counselor Matthews and second by Counselor Huner. Counselor Matthews?
yes.
Counselor Huner?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Fry?
Recuse myself.
Counselor Coast?
Yes.
4 yeas, 1 recusal, motion carries.
Motion to approve the bills is presented.
Doug,
Yeah.
one other thing under new business, I handed out the quote for those recycle receptacles that we've spoke about before. There'd be 8 total, 4 for aluminum cans and 4 for plastic bottles. And I told my fellow council members I'd be hunting around for some funding, and what I was looking at was the homecoming committee had donated $5,000 to the city to be used for projects at Biddle Park. So I was wondering if I would get support from my fellow council members if I were to make a motion to go ahead with the purchase of these 8 recycle receptacles with those funds. If I have pictures along with me, if you wanted to take a peek at pictures.
Is 8 going to be enough, Shane?
Yeah, at the big 4 out of Biddle, it'd be 1 aluminum can, 1 plastic bottle receptacle for each field. And then maybe when we start using the north end later on, we can add some more out there.
Shane, I didn't look close
Yep.
enough at that, but how are those in the ground? Are
Yeah,
those
those,
within the ground?
the quote includes a surface mounted, so those would be attached to the concrete at Biddle Park. So they're not going to be blown around. They have lids on them, so rainwater won't be an issue. And actually, the video that I found on YouTube, like 2 or 3 grown adults are doing their best at destroying those items, and with no success. I mean, I don't want to challenge our youth, but
That's good. Good.
I certainly am all in favor of it, Shane.
okay.
I think it's good that if we got the money from the homecoming for Biddle, I think that it should come out of that account.
So I guess I'd just like to make a motion if council members would be on board with me asking our finance department to move $1,239.02 from that $5,000 donation to pay for this eventual invoice. Or not.
I'll second that motion.
It's no big deal.
Motion moved by Counselor Chamberlain and second by Counselor Matthews. Is there more discussion? Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Matthews?
Yes.
Counselor Coast?
Yes.
Counselor Huner?
Yes.
Counselor Fry?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Thanks, guys.
Go get the money.
Yep.
Okay, motion to approve the bills is presented.
So moved. Second.
Motion moved by Counselor Coast and second by Counselor Huner. Counselor Coast?
Yes.
Counselor Huner?
Yes.
Counselor Matthews?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Frye?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Counselor Chamberlain and second by Counselor Coast for adjournment. Motion, all in favor? Or something.
We'll wait for you, Maggie.
We'll see everybody at 7 now.
See y'all.